This is part 2 of the restoration process. The way I'm going to be discussing the engine bay with you guys, I'm going to be going into detail on what I'm seeing, what I think needs to be done, what work has been completed. These videos, they're going to be designed for someone that is more or less you're doing this for the first time. You're interested on learning about the LS 6.0, how to dissect it, how to really get in here like I am right now. So if that's what you're looking for and you're interested, you're in the right place. Let's start off from the beginning. I did disconnect the battery. The terminal is going to be right there. Next, I did take a look in the fuse box. It's underneath that lid right there. You see, pull that up, pull that off, comes right off. For me, it was checking the relays. I did see that some of the relays did have that cigarette light burn, and I will be replacing those. And I did start the process of organizing the fuses. A lot of the fuses will be upside down. Does it make a difference? No, but to me, it's the littlest details like that, wow, the fuses are organized. And you look in the engine, it's organized. You look inside, it's organized. And it just adds to a better product. Moving along, when you get to the top of this, the LS 6.0, there is one screw. It's actually right there. It goes through the top of the hole, and that'll take the lid off. There'll be a plate back there. 3 screws takes that off. That back one, you got to use a 10 millimeter to pop that off. Once you get that off, all right, we'll talk about that in a second. Over here, I'd like to start off with the air, the air intake. It definitely was dirty inside. It could be potentially original. I've got it down there on the floor in the corner. It was pretty nasty. It wasn't as nasty as my 05. Regardless, it needs a new cleaning job immediately. I did go in there and I did the best job that I could. This is a preliminary cleaning for spring, guys. I'll do some wiping down, but again, I will be dissecting this and taking all of this out completely with those grommets. There's 3 grommets or 4 grommets that hold this on. And I'll be taking the airbox out in the spring, really get behind here to clean that. When you take this air inbox out, there's screws right up here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 in the corner right there. You'll take that off. There's 2 screws, one there, that pops off. That pops off the lid. The air filter, you kind of wiggle it. It can be actually pretty tough to get out sometimes just because they're jammed in there pretty well. Get that out, and you do want to suck everything out. Again, dirt, twigs, bugs, all types of gunk in there. It runs to the outside. That's where the air is coming in. You definitely want to stick with stock. The vehicle runs best with stock. I had a heck of a time getting the mass airflow sensor out. What you can do is definitely get one of these industrial size cans. They're massive. It just makes the experience pretty cool. Just because the H2 is massive, I always elect for massive cans. When you're at the top up here, you can spray into the top and it'll loop around and start to go around that rubber. Again, from the front, I sprayed it heavily in the front up top. There's some silver rings. You can take them off either with a flathead or I think it's like an 8 millimeter socket. Probably took me like 30 minutes, guys, 45 minutes wiggling this thing to get it off. It was stuck on there that hard. Something you need to consider when you're reading stuff online is that these guys who work on these trucks, they work in the perfect work environment. They work in the ultimate garage, $250,000 garage with every tool available. Like, this is real life. This is, these are my tools. This is my setup. Until I get that dream garage, this is how, I'm going to have to get it done. That being said, there's a couple sensors. You guys will see that you got to pop off, take them out of the way. There's one of them. You got to pull this gray tab back, press in, and then just wiggle it and it'll come right out. Coming over here, I want to show you guys what's going on right here. This, let me get some light down here. This piece right here, you got to squeeze this bad boy in and just rotate it to get enough room. There's 1, 2, 3. Again, putting the WD-40 on those bolts and pulling it off. You can see our intake. This thing needs cleaned. A lot of people online, they clean the front of it. They don't clean the rear of it. And again, cleaning that mass airflow sensor, there's special cans you use to clean this. Now, I did run one can through already. Actually, it was about a half can. I'll be running another can. There's some dirt I still got to get out off that piece. So you want to make sure that you are using the right can. Some of these cans are like this CRC. You know, this is designed for throttle body. The can's identical for that one, so you don't want to be mixing and matching products. So we'll be using that to clean the back of this. Steel wool also looks really good. Works really well. We want to get that carbon intake, any of this gunk out. You can see that blue right here. This is actually a gasket. Definitely looks old. We do want to get that replaced. I do have a Felpro one. Those are the ones I use. This hose too right here, this little clamp needs to be squeezed in. What I do is I pull it up, and then I use this beauty of a tool. This is a die-hard tool. One of my favorite tools in the bag, one of these long nose needle nose pliers. You can come in from the side and just grab it and bring it up. You know, this is your alternator right here. You know, take that plug out. Right here, if you guys are new to that, that's actually where your computer is, your PCM. All right, let's see. Get your fuel injector rails. Those coil packs. Notice the coil packs they've got that yellow tint to them. That's what they were back in the day. When I bought some new ones, some of the newer ones are actually black on the top. So I'm looking around. Okay, I've got some dirt down there. What else do I have? It just really needs a good cleaning. Now the red, that's your transmission. The yellow, that's your oil. It's common for the oil, the yellow one at the bottom. I did see some rust down there. What will happen is when you take that off, actually the piece will snap off. It can be a real pain in the butt because then you got to take the side trim off. I did put some motor flush in here. Also, I did mention to you guys that there was some work done on this vehicle before. And looking at the heads, it should say 317 down there. If it says a different number, like 243 of the Corvette heads, I actually have a set of them. They gain you about 20 horsepower. I'll be putting them in the yellow one probably next year, but it did say remanufactured head, so maybe there was a blown head gasket in this. I know work was done, but regardless, that was a couple thousand miles ago. And this is my thought process, is that I want to get everything up to speed. I want to check everything. I've got to double check everything. Make sure all the sensors are clean down here, so that when I get it tuned, the vehicle's at 100%, all the fluids are fresh, the sensors are fresh, and that when Justin or whoever at Black Bear Performance tunes the vehicle, it's going to be tuned correctly. The vehicle is running incredible on the way back from Boston. Absolutely incredible. What's crazy is that after I change all the fluids, and I come in here, I'm going to get the injectors refurbished at 143,000 miles. There's no doubt in my mind that I doubt that the fuel injectors were ever refurbished. So that, we definitely want to get that done. And, that's going to, bring back some horsepower and definitely just make this thing cruise even better. So I'm going to, talk about a couple more sensors that need to come off. Up top, there's one right here. There's a screw right here. You pop that off. Pop this sensor off. This hose will need to come off. I'll use a little pick just to get in here and lift that up and pull it back. So right now, again, cleaning up all these sensors. We're going to take the fuel rail off next. We're going to take the whole intake out. Take the injectors out. We're going to go get those, refurbished. New spark plugs again. We'll test the coil packs. Coil packs are normally pretty good. The way that you test them is have the vehicle running, and then we'll go for a light spirited drive. We'll come back, and we want to see the headers at about 320 degrees. And if that's correct, if that's the temperature we get, then that means that the coil packs are good. You can test the coil packs at idle. It should be about 320 degrees for my 05. I just don't like going out and spending, these are normally like 65 bucks a piece. Going out and spending, a couple $100 on coil packs when you've got good coil packs, I think it's a little unnecessary. This is kind of like OG mechanic work, right here. A lot of people, what they do is they go out and they'll spend, whatever, 500 bucks on new coil packs. And it's like, dude, you only had one bad coil pack. It's a little unnecessary in my book. So we'll see what's down here, boys and girls, and I will continue to give you guys updates.